Alrighty, what is up, guys? Welcome back. It has been a while since I made one of these videos, but we are finally talking about the 2004 series of Hardnoze vehicles. I finished up this set of 10 like 2 or 3 years ago at this point, and I've been meaning to make a video, but I just keep getting distracted by stuff. Anyways, like usual, I'm going to be showing you the first editions of each casting. I'm not going to be showing you every single variation that they had because I don't have every single variation. If I did, I'd be showing you them. But until then, you're going to see what I have. I'm going to talk about the other variations that there are. And I'm also going to mention like the re-releases that some of these had, because a lot of these had no re-releases whatsoever, which is kind of a shame. We're going to be going in order of collector number, which means we're starting with number 16, Too Cool. That is the one right in front of you. It is definitely based off of Evil Twin. Beautiful casting. Probably one of the most recognizable Hardnoze castings. And the reason I say that is because this was part of the 2004 McDonald's series. And it's pretty common. Like, I see it quite a bit. I had one as a kid even. One of the McDonald's ones. And I'm sure lots of other people have. It's very, very common. And unlike the actual legitimate Hot Wheels one, such as this one, not so common. It took me a long time to find this one. The first one I ever found was one of the re-releases, and that was back in like 2018. So I mean, it took me a long time to even get any variation of this one. But speaking of variations, for its first edition, there was this purple one, and there's also a Zamac, which I actually have the Zamac. Believe it or not, there's a Zamac. This one has like a pinstripe error on it. It's got this blue line on the fender. But don't care. Very cool. Zamacs are pretty hard to find. But yeah, got the Zamac and the standard one. For re-releases, it had a Toy Fair kind of, I guess, I don't know what you call these, but like a Toy Fair one, and I don't have that one, but I think I looked on eBay once, and they're not horribly expensive. So I'll probably get that one eventually. And then for just regular releases, it had a 2005 5-pack release, a Wastelanders 5-pack. Here's that one. This is the one that I got back in 2018-ish, around then. First variation of this one I had. Man, I never realized you can see through the car right there. Can you actually get on all of them? Yeah, that's crazy. I actually never noticed that. Okay. Wastelanders one. I like that it's got the bling wheels in the front. This one looks the most like the McDonald's one. I have the McDonald's one, and I really wish I brought it out to show you guys. But I forgot about it. There you go, Wastelanders one. And that's it. That is all. There's only 4 different versions of Too Cool you can collect, and I got 3 of them right there. The next one, number 17, is Grand Illusion. Okay, Grand Illusion. This one, I love the name, by the way. Grand Illusion, Grand Illusion. Okay, love it. And it kind of plays into the whole, I don't know, like cliche or whatever of people always getting these cars backwards. The number of times I've seen people like line a whole bunch of Hot Wheels up and they're all facing one direction, and then there's a Hardnoze in there that's facing the wrong direction. Like they think this is the front. I mean, it's happened so many times. But Grand Illusion, it had 2 variations, and it's kind of weird. I like that they did this because it's just so strange to me. So we have this one. I would say that this one's probably the more common of the 2. It has this design on the side. This, I call it like a feathered design. I'm sure that's wrong. But look at those headlights, dude. It's got red windows that are hard to see, but trust me, they're in there. And then the second version has the same color of paint, but it has a different tampo on the side. This big red one. This one is definitely less common, but neither of them are very rare at all. They're both very obtainable. This one has clear windows. And there's a third variation of these blue ones where it's kind of like a transitional variation, I guess, maybe. You could get this one right here, the feathered one, with clear windows like this one. So it's kind of in between these two. That one, I have never seen one. I'm assuming it's probably extremely rare. And then it also had Zamac release. And that is going to be a common theme among these Hardnozes. For some reason, so many of these got 2004 Zamac releases, which Zamacs back then were Toys R Us exclusives, I believe. And unfortunately, this one got no re-releases ever. Really sucks, because I think this one is super neat. Probably one of my favorites. Next up, number 18. This one is, again, one of my favorites, and not because I actually like the way it looks. I like Grand Illusion because of the way it looks. This one I like because of the lore, okay? Or my lore attached to it, okay? This one is one of the first Hardnoze cars I ever got. Not the first one, but maybe the second one or something. I thrifted it way back in my early days of thrifting, like 2011, 2012, something like that. And I just, way back then I loved Hardnoze and tuned vehicles and these crazy looking Hot Wheels, okay? I've always loved these. So I had to buy it then. I enjoyed it for a couple years, and then 2013 is kind of a transitional year for me. I kind of started to focus on collecting more. Back when I got my first Dodge Neon Hardnoze, back in 2011, let's say, I was still buying Hot Wheels with the intention of mostly playing with them. 2013, I started to learn a lot more about Hot Wheels and stuff, and started to collect more than I played with them. And I learned something about this car in 2013. That is that it has a window variation. As its first edition release, has a window variation. And I have one of them. So there it is. You can see the windows. This one is the dark tinted one. This one is blue. And back in 2013 when I learned about this, it just for some reason it stuck with me. I just thought it was so interesting. And ever since then, I had been looking at every single Dodge Neon I have ever seen at flea markets, garage sales, whatever, thrift stores. Every time I look at them, just to see what the window was. Not even necessarily with the intention of buying them every time, just had to see what the window was. And it was always a dark tinted one. Finally, last year, after picking up probably hundreds of these Dodge Neons, literally, this is a very common casting. Probably, I'm going to say the most common Hardnoze, and maybe that's just because I'm looking for them, that I see so many of them, but I feel like I see a lot of this casting. But finally, last year, I found one of the window variations, the blue one. So happy to find that. I found that at a swap meet. So amazing. One of my all-time favorite finds in the last couple years for sure. But there is a third window variation that I do not have, and I'm going to say is probably even rarer, much rarer than this one that I just found. It is a kind of almost clear window, has a slight tint to it, but it's almost clear. So I'm still looking for that one. And guess what? There is a fourth variation, but it is not a window variation. It is a Zamac. There is also a Zamac of this. And I'm going to say that the Zamac is way more common than the window variation, but I don't have it yet. In terms of re-releases, this actually did get 2 re-releases. They were both in 2005. Here's one of them. Get out of here, boy. Here's one of them. I believe this is a 5-pack. It had a 5-pack release and a mainline release. And I'm pretty sure this is the 5-pack. There it is. I didn't give you a good look at this one yet either, so. Hilarious. It's such a short car. Look at the dimensions. So yeah, unfortunately I do not have the other 2005 release, but I will find it someday. It's not that rare. I've seen it a few times. Next up is number 19. It's a 49 Merc. There it is. Beautiful casting. This one had no real variations on this release, but it did have a Zamac kind of alternate. Like the last 3 that we've looked at, I think, right? Yeah, I think every single one has had a Zamac so far, which is kind of insane. Focus. I like the colors on this one. The Zamac one is kind of interesting because it's the dark green portion of it. That's the Zamac. It still has this green part on the roof and kind of quarter panels. Yeah, 49 Merc. Pretty big, chunky casting. I feel like size-wise, I mean, it's just bigger. Yeah, this one I got a long time ago at this point. I got this probably like 2014 or something. But yeah, pretty cool. 49 Merc. I did not talk about the re-releases, though, of this one. This one did get 3 re-releases. One in 2005, one in 2006, and in 2013. I know, crazy. That's a late one. It was part of the mystery models, like the international mystery models, so not even available in the United States. I will probably never get that one. Unless someone can hook me up, I would love to get that. Anyways, here is the 2005 release. I don't have the 2006 one. This one, I remember one of my friends having this in like elementary school. And it stuck with me because it's like the most creepy looking thing ever. Like, as a kid seeing this, is that not like creepy? Like, bruh. So creepy. So that one is like a core memory for me. Had to get that one. Number 20 is the Twin Mill. Icon. Gotta take a classic Hot Wheel and tune it. Big, giant engines. I love that. That looks so good on this one. Super cool. Again, it had a Zamac release. There's a Zamac of this one for some reason. Just like the other ones. And that's it for 2004. It did get re-released twice, 2005 and 2006. Both of them were 5-pack releases, and I do have both of them. This is the 2005 one. It's from the Wastelanders 5-pack. I believe that is the same 5-pack that this Too Cool is from. So, this one I got this variation a long time ago. Probably 2016-ish, maybe. That was my first variation of this casting before I ever got that one. Sorry. 2006, it was in the Big Blocks 5-pack, which also had a lot of tuned cars in it, I'm pretty sure. There you go. I literally just got this one last weekend. So, very cool. Next up is number 24. As you can see, the collector numbers do not go necessarily right in a row. Number 24 is a 59 Chevy, and there's not a lot to talk about with this one because it had no variations and it had no re-releases, which sucks. I love the massive grille on this one. Looks so good. Look how tiny the bed is. The back end is so tiny on this one. Nothing. This had no variations, no re-releases, nothing. I don't really have any stories about this one either. Yeah, nothing. Number 39 is the 1974 Monte Carlo. This one also had a Zamac. I do not have that one. And again, no re-releases, which is, I don't know. I don't know if it's that sad. I don't love this one that much, but I love the tampos that are on this release. But casting itself, not a massive fan of. Love Hardnoze front ends though. You go 74 Monte Carlo. This one I have had for a very long time though. I don't remember when I got it, but I know it's been a while. Number 42 is the Batmobile. They did a Batmobile Hardnoze. They did also a Cruise Batmobile. This one is actually the first Hardnoze I ever had. I had one of these that I got way back in 2004. Unfortunately though, I don't want to say it's unfortunate, but this is not the one I had as a kid. The one I had as a kid I gave to my cousin probably around 2013 or something. So I no longer have that one. And it took me a long time to find another one of these, surprisingly. I kept finding like really beat up ones, but never like good enough for me ones. Like I don't need perfection, but just decent. Yeah, Hardnoze Batmobile. This one is surprisingly the most re-released Hardnoze of all of them. This one has had 6 re-releases. And I have one of them here. I have another one. I don't know where it is. I guess I didn't think about trying to dig it out, so I don't have that one here. But here's the 2004 re-release, which is the same year that this came out, okay? This is from a 2-pack, like a Batman 2-pack. This one's really cool with the chrome. Just makes it look really fancy and stuff. Yeah, the other variation I have is like a 2014-ish. It is a themed assortment one. It is pretty much identical to this one. The only difference, the only way you can tell them apart is that the newer one has a base code. This one has no base code. So, I have that one somewhere. And then pretty much I think all of the other re-releases that it's had are all like themed assortments, that kind of thing. The most recent re-release was 2024 though, which is super surprising. That is crazy. Hardnoze in 2024. Insane. I just think it's crazy that this one is like the one that is the most re-released, the most lifespan. Got to give you a look at the front end though. Yeah, cool. Next up, number 47 is the Cadillac V16 concept. This one is the only one that has this kind of variation. It has a wheel variation. You could get this one with a 5-spoke. I do not have that one, unfortunately. I have seen it once or twice, but it was just more than I'd want to pay, so. I only have the PR5 one, which is definitely the more common one, obviously. Very plain. I guess it'd been cool if they gave it headlights or something. Mine's kind of plain one, as you can see, but yeah. Not my favorite casting. Pretty boring. Not visually appealing that much. Yeah, like I said, only variation is a 5-spoke variation. But I did get one re-release in 2005. It was part of a Roll Patrol 5-pack, and I do have that one. This is a very common variation to find. The Roll Patrol 5-pack was... They must have made a lot of those because the cards from that are everywhere. Yeah. Last, but certainly not least, is the Toyota Celica Hardnoze. This one is one of the most strangely proportioned ones in my opinion because it's so... Like the difference in width between the front and the rear are so obvious. Like look at that, and it's so short. Let me get Too Cool. Look how short it is compared to Too Cool. Let me zoom it out, it's too far. But so short, such a short casting. It's so wide in the front end. Yeah, I love this. Got a separate piece spoiler. I don't know why they made this one like this. Yeah, gotta have a tuner car. Yeah, this was the last one I needed. This was the final one, like 3 years ago or whenever I finished this. This was the last one I needed. So, very cool. This one has no variations and no re-releases. And that's all of them. There you go. That's the 2004 series of Hardnozes. Overall, not my favorite style of tune cars, but they are definitely recognizable. That is for sure. Let me know, any stories you have about yours as kids. Which one's your favorite? Which one's your least favorite? I just love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.